Positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. You have now tuned in to the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Yo, what up, y'all? Positive energy and good. Oh my God, yo. I don't even know what that wasn't. That sounded like a humming cat. Like it sounded like a cat that has laryngitis. Yo, listen.
I need to start a GoFundMe so we can get an appropriate.
Yo, listen. I got a soundboard, man. Like I forgot to pull that up earlier. We should have said that before we got started. But anyway, positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. It's your boy RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, and this is the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Yo, listen, y'all know this nigga T.R. ain't got no good sense, man. But say it up to good people, y'all. Oh, now y'all don't want to say nothing?
I was taking a sip. I didn't want my throat to be. I didn't want my throat to be.
I was thinking about what I should fill up in my cup. But
hey, what? Listen, what up, good people? Shout out to all my black mothers, black fathers, all the imperfect people out there. It's your man TR Trouble, and we back with another episode of the Imperfect Fathers. Dave, say what up to the people, man.
What's going on, people? Another dad on the grind.
Word. We back at it, man. Oh,
another day. Doc, what you doing? Rolling up? What you doing? Rolling up, man?
Nah, hell no, I ain't rolling up. I'll be doing that later on, though. Actually, I'm in the middle of trying to get the soundboard lit. That is actually about to. Oh, it is. It's about to be on our screen in a minute. I got sounds now. Let's see. Is it working?
You don't like my pew, 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 pew.
No. We don't like that at all, Troy. We don't like that.
I appreciate the effort. I liked it.
Oh shit. All right, Dave.
Booyaka.
You're not making this no better.
Can you add sounds to your soundboard?
Nah.
We need a roster saying Bombo Clot.
Yo, listen.
We need. What is that?
Yeah.
Be gone, thought.
Be gone, thought.
Yeah, we need that.
Because I know somewhere deep down in my heart, I still love you.
What is that from?
Because I know.
That was the crackhead father, right? With no teeth.
Yes. Yeah, how do we stop it?
In my heart, because I know somewhere.
Yo, how do you stop this?
In my heart.
Soundboard taking over.
Word, soundboard's getting too crazy just now.
Yeah, your soundboard got gremlins. Stay focused.
Word.
We going back to me.
Nah, yeah. We'll deal with that for the night. Yo, listen, man. Around here, we normally have things in decency and order. We're gonna try to get back to the order. I'm not sure about the decency part, but anyway, let's get back down to order. So, around here we got to talk to our pops, which we're gonna do right now. Father God, we thank you for another opportunity to be here, all to come together as brothers, as men, as kings, that we may uplift, inspire, and entertain, as well as encourage some men right now. God, we want to be the best versions of ourselves so we can help someone else move and to be the best version of themselves. So right now, God, we ask you for the grace and the space to go across the airwaves to do just that. In your name's sake, we do these things. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Hamdu Allah.
Oh my God. And it's Hamdu Allah.
What? Hot salami and bacon?
Oh my God.
I gotta be careful because there's some Muslim niggas out there that get real offended.
Yo, listen. I'm about to say to you, listen, if they come knocking, I'm pointing.
Wait.
right here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Troy,
well,
that's
listen.
That's the dread sound effect right there you was looking for.
Oh my God, he put it in the chat. Yeah, well, listen, man. We have paid sponsors that pay us well around here, and like we got to cut this out. We got to let them. We got to talk to our sponsors and give them a spot, Troy. Listen,
All
for
right.
all your music needs, man. For all the music needs, whether it be hip hop, R&B, gospel, neo soul, you name it. Them guys over at It's Now or Never are phenomenal producers. Phenomenal. I'm telling you, any project that you want to bring to life, even if it's only in your dome piece, it's only in your head. I'm telling you, go check them out, sit down, have a session, and watch them bring that project to life. I've watched them do it countless times. And if you go over there right now and you shop smart and you shop black and you use the word imperfect, you get 50% off on any beat that's in the beat store. And it's a very extensive catalog that grows monthly. So check this out. Like I said before, shop smart, shop black, shop It's Now or Never ENT, and let them know that we sent you from the Imperfect Fathers. Next paid sponsor of this beautiful podcast. Troy's wearing the piece, I'm wearing a piece, and Dave has to get a piece. A piece from Cassie's Classic Design for all your printing needs, whether it be shirts, hats, cups, signs, you name it. Cassie's Classic Design can print it. So if you need to get at her directly, it's going to be over at Cassie's Classic Design at Gmail. But if you're on Instagram like everyone else, you can get at her directly in her DM. I'm sorry, at her DM in Cassie's _classic_design. Yo, Troy, do your job.
Oh man, we got a few things on the table tonight, but listen, I want to jump right into I don't even know where to start, man, because we've got some really great topics tonight. So this one is kind of serious and foolish. I had never heard of this guy until today. This pastor, Michael God. So if anybody doesn't know, he is in I guess in all aspects a performance pastor to me. I went back and watched some of his some clips from him on YouTube, but this particular one on this particular sermon, I guess the sermon was around how Jesus healed this blind man with his spit.
Mm-hmm.
Doc, you got the clip?
I'm loading it as we speak, my brother. I'm loading it up as we speak.
Yeah. So this pastor has this young black man on stage with him, and he is giving this sermon. And I'm just setting it up for y'all. The brother is standing on stage with his eyes closed, and the pastor is giving this sermon, and he proceeds to bring up some phlegm, not even spit. He proceeds to bring up
yes,
and
hock the
spit
loogie
in his hand. And here's the thing. Here's the thing that was crazy to me, bro. He spit in his hand like, yo, like he was getting ready to tap some booty. You know, like, you know, you try to put that little extra wax on it and you spit in your hand. Listen.
Nah. I ain't never went wax no booty like that. Like you don't hawk no loogie for no waxing.
Like,
That's a whole other wax.
It was crazy. Like
Mr. Tribble, you are creative. I'll give you that.
And then then the dude, he turns to the side. I guess this was kind of pre-set up. The dude then turns to the side, but during his sermon, he almost, just hang tight on it. He almost knew when he spit in his hand the first time, because the congregation, some people gasped, some people said ill, some people told him to keep preaching. But he stopped for a minute, and it was almost like he knew what he was doing was about to be wrong. But then he spit in his hand again.
He committed.
At that point, he committed to it.
He doubled down. He committed.
And then he goes further into this. So this clip is about 2 minutes long, 2 minutes and some change. But he then rubs it on the man's face.
Yeah, all right. Now that you said it, Troy, now we just have to show it so we can
Yeah.
get we just gotta get past this already. Like this
Yeah.
is and I apologize for the people right now that's gonna see this and you is just as skeeved that as I was, but you're welcome.
Yeah.
If I had to deal, right. If I had to deal, so do you. Here we go.
Gotta share the shenanigans.
Yes, must share the shenanigans.
Getting vision from God might get nasty. You mean God? No.
Here we go.
Changing something and you don't see it clearly yet, but you hit.
Uh-oh.
And this is where most people would not face Jesus anymore. What most people would do is turn away.
Oh. Oh. Ooh. Omicron and Delta.
What I'm telling you is just as he's physically standing here, knowing what's coming, God's saying, can you physically and spiritually and emotionally be able to stand? When getting the vision or receiving it might get nasty. I'm going to say it in a point just like that. Receiving vision from God might get nasty. You mean, God, I just bought, in crazy faith, I just bought my dream car. And now you're going to ask me to sell it back and ride in the hoopty again? Yeah, because the vision I'm about to give you, it might get nasty. And do you hear and see the responses of the people? What I'm telling you is how you just reacted is how the people in your life will react when God is doing what it takes for the miracle. What are you saying? This man was blind, and what he was trying to do with this man is give him his DNA.
What?
All right.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Listen, that's what happens when you fuck the pastor's wife and he finds out. He just gave that grown ass black man a facial in front of the church, my nigga.
Yo, that is a great way to perceive that video. I didn't even think about it.
Yo, no.
Listen.
Oh yeah.
All right, now we got to really talk about this.
Yeah, because in real rap, like
real rap. Like
what kind of church is that? What kind of pastor does
no. We're not even gonna ask that question, Troy, because there's no answer for that, right? What we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about what God's given us, right? Which is common sense, right? We all know that the good book even speaks about decency. I said it earlier, decency and order. What kind of decency or what order is it when another grown man spits into his hand?
2 times.
And we're not going past the spitting in the hand part right now. A grown ass man spitting, and yo, I will bust my son's ass for this. Hear me good, y'all. Like a grown man spit in the palm of his hands.
Mm-hmm. Mixed it around.
During Corona era.
Thank you. In the midst of Omarians, ovarians, or all kinds of, you spit in your hand, right? Then you justify it. You try to justify it and says that God, it might get nasty when God speaks to you or gives you your word. It might get nasty. I've been alive for 37 years. I'm not saying I've seen it all, but I've seen enough to know, and I know God enough for myself to know is that he's not telling no other man to spit in his hands and rub it in my face, because God knows his son.
God know you can come out.
Yeah, I'm with Troy on that right there.
I'm
bro.
gonna. I don't care how much Holy Ghost you think you got. Yo, I want to know how much that man got paid, yo.
That was his atonement for being at the pastor's house before the pastor got there.
Nah,
that was his
atonement.
That was his atonement for eating a big piece of chicken.
Yo, listen. Yo, there's not enough atonement.
But like on a serious note, though, this is something that's happening in our community a lot. I just had a death in my family about last week, and I had some of my family come by, some of the younger folk in my family, and I kind of seen what a poor job our parents did with the seriousness of things and foolery like that going on, because I guarantee you that boy grandmama's up that he ain't spitting on his hand like that. She would have jumped on that stage and beat the hell out of him for doing that.
Word.
And it's like, this is something that's going on in a lot of churches. Like right now, I have 3 single black female cousins all talking about God gonna send them something. And one of them is actually dating her pastor on and off. So like, this isn't this whole shenanigans that they so-called got going on is just tapping into a channel where there's a revenue that they're figuring it out, because it's just, I mean, at this point in time, like what was the purpose of that? That was humiliating. I mean,
yeah, and I've been through a lot of things in my life, and God has, I will definitely say, he has delivered me and taken me to some very, very dark places to bring me out on the other side. And I have gone to pastors for counseling. I have gone to priests for counseling. I have gone to my therapist for counseling. I have gone to other strong black men for counseling who talked to me about God, but did none of them ever embarrass me the way that man did. Like, that was just a mockery of that black man.
But yo, and Troy, do you think it was a mockery of the black man? Because honestly, bigger than that, I think it's a mockery of God. Like,
I'm sorry, you're right. You're right. That was a total. Yeah. Thank you for that correction. It was a total mockery of God.
Word.
And Michael Todd later came back on his social media. He said after he watched it back, he realized, he didn't mean to be disrespectful. He realized how disgusting it was.
No, Troy, but that's like, you knew that when you was doing it, nigga. Like, see, what happened was somebody else, when that was all said and done, the person he respects got on that phone and said, "You lost your goddamn mind." Like, what's your problem? Like, so see, this is what I don't like, yo. I hate the fact that we do stuff in public, and all of a sudden we go in the back office, we get chewed out for it. Now we come to the front. I just looked at it and I just now realized how disgusting. No, nigga, you knew how nasty it was when you did it.
Yeah, you knew.
Come on, my nigga, you
doubled down.
And what I want to know is, what kind of stronghold, you hear me, does that man have over that man? Because I'm mad just thinking about it. Like, I don't care what kind of church service, and I respected each and every one of my pastors, but every last one of them know you better not play with me. And of that nature, I'm putting you to sleep where you stand at. The moment you spit in your hands, I'm knocking you out. I don't care what pastor you are, I don't give a damn. You hear what I'm telling you? If you spit in your hand in front, first of all, to spit in your hand in front of me, I might slap you. Well, what's wrong with you, dog?
Dude.
But he had his eyes closed. He had his eyes closed.
You heard you heard all that. I know you heard that. Like, nah, man.
I mean,
and then the crowd, even the crowd, Joe. Y'all heard the crowd when he was like, the crowd was like, oh.
It's just incredible that he thinks that he's anointed enough that his spit could do that to someone on stage. Like you know what I'm saying? Like how anointed? Like how who's been gassing your head?
Listen, no one has cured blindness since Jesus. Let's just be clear.
Yo, and let me tell you something. Like also even that note, Troy, because like let's keep it a stack for the people who might not know. In the Bible, God did do it. He took clay, he spit, and he made the clay, and he put it on the dude's eyes, and then he became the sea again. Okay, now let's talk about the evolution of human beings. We have medical technology today. There was none of that when Jesus was walking around the earth. They had to do what they had to do to get by. There is no health, science, any kind of reason that this man spit in his hand, rubbed it on that man's face. There's no reason other than the fact that the matter is he's lost his damn mind. Period.
Listen, crazy. But here's the thing. He'll recover from it.
But honestly, Troy, it's not to recover from, because the people that's following him are going to continue to follow the nonsense. And the crazy part, Troy, he's got a crazy following. Yeah. Believe it or not, he just got a floodgate of followers that come right behind and be like, you know what, I'm gonna follow this dude.
Listen,
and now he's gonna get the wackos following him now too, because they're gonna see this wild stuff. They're like, oh, let's see what he's gonna do to the next person.
Right. That's the crazy thing. Listen, y'all know here in Atlanta, Eddie Long stuck his dick in booties, and
oh my God,
they listen. Only thing he just couldn't be head pastor no more. So
right, you know what? And I'm no one's
allegedly. I'm sorry. Let me clean that up by saying allegedly.
Okay, but my thing is this, and I'm not one to point fingers at nobody, because my record is not clean by no means. And at the same time, I am nobody's pastor. And I'm not pretending to be. But yo, this mockery that people are, and let me tell y'all something. Let me be very, very honest. I am supposed to be walking in the ministry of a minister. This is what my calling was like. I've been told my entire life. But because I know the weight, the magnitude, and the seriousness behind it, is why I'm not doing it. Is why, and now at this stage of my life, who knows? 5-10 years down the line, I might clean up, and who knows? It might be. But I understand what that means to lead God's people, y'all. That is no laughing matter. That is nobody's joke. And this thing that we got going on in our culture and society that's making this thing an entertainment show, it's starting to become sickening. And the crazy part about it is that the Bible speaks about this. And I don't want to get all creepy and scary, but the old folks used to talk about this all the time, the last and evil days. And this is some of the stuff that the Bible even speaks about. These crazy, weird out of the war prophets coming out of nowhere.
I mean, it's what's driving our community right now. I mean, you should see the so-called Christians in the so-called churches right now. It's like it's a bunch of heathenry going on front stage, front and center. The congregations heathening right in front. I mean, I don't see where any of the disciplines coming in. Like, I don't know. I mean, like I said, this weekend was an eye opener. I had some family tell me that she dating a 27-year-old pastor. And that just didn't sound right at all. I was just like,
how old is she?
And then she's 30. She's 30 and he's 27. He has a child out of wedlock. And
he's human. He's human.
Yo, man, Troy, hold on, but see, Troy, that's the thing. That right there is the thing. When you say he's human, yes, he's human, but you're supposed to be upholding a standard. There's a standard that you must uphold. Now,
so what
now
I'm saying is,
I'm not saying that like that he didn't have he's not a man and all those things. But what I'm saying is we had at some point we have to hold a standard. Like it has to be at some point. Well, if you did fall, you made that mistake, cool. But you cannot be a pastor right now. You cannot lead the people if you first of all, how you leading the people and you're dating a
Your
woman.
congregation.
Yeah, like that's crazy. Like I know I'm not tripping. Like I know I'm not bugging.
People fuck at work all the time.
Woo! Boy, I hope your house has ground of electricity.
Boy, that ground wire I hope it's strong.
Boy, I hope your house could take some current, boy, because you keep talking like this, boy.
No, people don't fuck at work all the time.
Show.
Nah, but yo, Troy, it's crazy because like there's no reverence no more. Like to Dave's point, like when you think about church now, it's a joke, bro. When me and you was younger, Troy, when you heard the word church, it was a certain reverence. When you thought about God, it was a certain energy. Like that's slowly creeped out of the back door. Like the seriousness of what God means is now taken lightly.
I think yes, to a certain point, a certain degree, you are right. But what I believe has happened is that in order for the church to attract a younger audience, in order for them to attract that, I don't know, millennial Generation Z, because I think that's what they are right now, that Gen Z audience, they have changed, they have had to change the way they cater to them. So they want things differently, they sing things differently. The pastors are more, elaborate, and they're doing all of these other crazy things.
They call that
it's theatrical pastoring.
Nah, it's called propaganda preaching.
Propaganda preaching. There you go.
Like propaganda. If you think about it, unfortunately, I tend to call the Bible the playbook. The playbook's very simple. It's all about discipline. Pure and simple is discipline. There is no, we're open to this.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's not like, oh, I'll tolerate a little bit of this. Like, nah, like, yo, the words are very clear. It's like must and shall. It's not
even
like
when you mess up
and we might, like,
even when you mess up, there's a consequence to it.
I mean, like, and it's just like, and it's crazy, and it's just like, and like, not for nothing, like, people walk around and just say like, oh yeah, I'm a Christian. Like, yo, like, I'm like, people get upset with me all the time. Like, yo, I grew up Baptist. I'm very, like, I grew up, I believe in a lot of the principles, a lot of the foundation, but I'm not walking around here telling everybody I'm a Christian, because I'm not banging like that. I'm not like, I'm not banging like that. Like, I'd be sitting here lying to myself, like, trying to be out here being like, yeah, we're Christian. Like, dude, like, yeah, my pops is probably turning in his grave right now. Like, damn, son, you speaking like this, but I mean, at least I'm being honest, bro. Like, I'm not out here saying like, hey, da-da-da. And I get it, because we all grew up. Like, I'm pretty sure we all grew up like this, but I'm pretty sure right now ain't none of us banging like this. I know I got one homeboy that's just on his way, that's trying to bang like that, and he was, I don't know what happened. He was supposed to pull up, because this would have been a great topic for him.
Word, I hit him, but he said
it would have been a great topic because he's on his journey. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like, I've seen him shake stuff, man, and I give him credit every day, because it's like he's like, man, it's an everyday struggle, and I see it.
It's crazy, because there's a quote from Macbeth that says, "Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it." Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. That's what some of these pastors is doing, but we're gonna move from that. Hey man, listen, my boy, one of my favorite actors is playing, I think, possibly, for me, I've watched the video clips, it might be the best role ever. Denzel Washington is playing the Scottish king in a 400-year-old play that was written by William Shakespeare, Macbeth. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen like, a play, Macbeth, but I can't really
ninth grade English class.
Yeah, I can't really quote Shakespeare like that, but Macbeth is definitely one of my favorite plays. And just to see Denzel be able to step into a role like that, to me, it is absolutely amazing. And he gave an interview recently, and someone was asking him about the role and race and everything like that. And basically he was like, why are we still talking about race? Why are we still talking about diversity in 2021, 2022? But to me, we have to talk about it because it's still a thing, right? When we go back and we watch Moses, and we watch some of the old biblical movies, right, from the 60s and the 70s. I mean, listen, all of those Egyptian characters, the pharaohs, right? It's Egypt. They're black. All of those roles were played by white people.
Was that a coincidence?
No, I mean, that was Hollywood back then.
Oh, okay.
That was Hollywood back then. But now you look at it and say, here's Denzel Washington playing a Scottish king, right? Macbeth. And listen, I don't normally see things the first day that they come out, but this one is going to be out on Apple TV. I'm absolutely waiting. I'm not doing anything Friday night. I'm watching Macbeth. Like, I'm sitting down.
Locked in.
Huh?
You're gonna be locked in.
I'm definitely gonna be locked in for this one. I think it's an award-winning role for him. I mean, again, 40 years after Sidney Poitier, won an award, right? Denzel won the same award for Training Day, which a lot of people gave flack for because they said, oh, it was the first time Denzel, had ever said nigga. It was the first time that he played a dirtbag, in a role. People were used to seeing Denzel playing, all of these good characters. And they said, why did he have to say nigga in order to win an award, an Oscar?
No,
I don't think that was the case. I think it just showed, Training Day showed the depth of his character.
And that just shows whoever said that is so sensitive. That goes back to last week's topic about being overly sensitive. Like, so what? Like, the man said, like, he played a role. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it was devastating because people didn't think. I thought the reason he won it was because he just showed the other side of that police life. When you decide to actually abuse the power. And I think that's why he won it, because he actually showed people like, yo, that this is how we can abuse power. And I don't think people were just used to seeing cops wild out like that. and I think that's kind of what took it away. But they damn sure. I mean, people gonna find what they say. Out of 10 people, 4 people gonna like it, 3 people not gonna like it, and 2 gonna be on the fence about it.
Yeah.
So it's always gonna be something like that.
And like, to the point about like with Denzel, like going like, the man is showing how diverse he is. Like, and if you can't what I don't understand about us as people is how we don't appreciate and cherish what we have until it's gone. Like, we sit here and we talk like there's so many critics about Denzel doing Training Day and all those other things, but like, the man is a living legend. Like, right now, he's still alive. Like, we got him right now, and we're so busy nitpicking. And this is what, like, I can't be a part of. I can't be a part of the nitpick when it's time to celebrate somebody's life. Like, first of all, I'm not even nowhere near as cultured as Troy is when it comes down to knowing about Shakespeare and all those other things, because that's not my lane. But the fact that Troy knows about that, and I appreciate it, because now, guess what? It opens my mind to it. I'm not closed-minded, But there's so many people that are closed-minded to everything, and they just automatically decide to turn away. And then what they do is when they turn away, they go get a group of people that's with them. Hey guys, let me tell you, this guy over there is doing X, Y, Z. Instead of just being open-minded and saying, you know what, I don't know this, let me try to learn it.
No, it's just trying to manipulate a narrative. At the end of the day, it's just trying to manipulate a narrative. Somebody always going to want something to go their way, so they're just going to try to find a way to make it, you know? Like,
I'm going to tell you what it did for me, though. Like, it really, living in Atlanta, you know, having lived in New York, the arts in New York are different, right? You got Broadway, you got so many different things. Atlanta, you know, you get certain things that pass through, right? Atlanta, you know, plays and things like that. But having seen the trailer for Macbeth, having, you know, been once upon a time a huge fan of literature and poetry and plays in my life, you know, moving to Atlanta was a little bit different. But watching the trailer for Macbeth, it made me feel alive again. Like it kind of renewed that thing that I had once upon a time, because, you know, I grew up, I was a nerd growing up, right? You know, I read everything. People, you know, made fun of me because of the, you know, the way I spoke. They said I enunciate, you know, I speak like I'm white. But watching Denzel step into this role of Macbeth has kind of reinvigorated how I used to feel about the arts. And it's like, yo, you got to get back to it, man. It's just like watching that brother play that role is, to me, I don't know, it's Oscar worthy. I mean, and we say that about a lot of things, and, you know, but and ultimately, you know, whoever decides the Oscars is going to decide whether Denzel should win an award for this or not. But it's like, yo, if he don't, I'm gonna be like, the fix is motherfucking in. Like, y'all motherfuckers can't still be this goddamn racist in fucking Hollywood. But you know,
but we hold on. Now, you know, since you love to be the antagonist, I gotta switch my role now. What if he whack at it? What if he's the wackest Macbeth ever? What happens? Like, what happens if Denzel sells tickets on this one?
Well, here's another.
He didn't even want to fathom that shit.
Listen, he
didn't even want to think about it.
I'm just give you on that. I'm just gonna give you another quote, you know, from Macbeth that says, "Fair is foul, and foul is fair."
Right. It is true.
Fair is foul, and foul is fair. I mean, it's yeah.
Yo, and Troy, let me ask you a question, because like this for me is interesting. Is like, when did you actually like pick this stuff up? When did you like know you start liking literature and things of that nature?
Oh man, you know what? So it's crazy because I got bullied a lot as a kid, right? You know, I was raised by women. You know, I had two uncles in the crib, but they weren't really present. So for me, you know, going outside and playing as like a kid, I got bullied sometimes. So I enjoyed being outside on my bike, you know, playing baseball, playing basketball, playing football. But it was always like, yo, I grew up with the Encyclopedia Britannica, the books in my house.
Me too, but I just never opened them.
No. Listen, I used to read the encyclopedia. I grew up World Books, Encyclopedia Britannica. My uncle used to get a subscription to National Geographic, so I used to look at the African titties all the time.
I tell you, boy,
that's in kneecap
creativity from.
I think before I beat off to a Playboy magazine, it was to a National Geographic, so some long neck bitches with some African titties.
And now you got a Pastor Todd move that you could try in the bedroom. You're gonna call that the Pastor Todd, baby.
Yeah, that was.
I'm gonna go to the room like, hey, yo, babe.
Dude, boy, listen.
Before I was,
now you got to cough up the Omicron.
Yeah, before I was using up my grandmother's lotion, I was doing the Pastor Todd.
Yo, that has become now his like a thing now. Baby. He has trademarked it.
Trademark, man.
Oh, yeah. Pastor Todd gonna be like this.
But no, I really fell in love with literature in middle school.
Okay.
I fell in love with literature in middle school, and I was always a reader. Like I read everything. I read the cereal box. There was nothing that I would not read.
And the words wasn't trying to bully you.
The word, listen, the words didn't. There was no fighting. I mean, it was
right.
yeah, it was no fighting. So
And like, I'm not gonna lie, Troy. So like, cause like now I have to ask you these questions because I now I know where you went instead of. Because for me, like there was no instead of. Like when the first bullying situation that I encountered, it was like, all right, well, you got to go back and deal. Like there's nowhere else to go. Like I got to go back out there and deal. Like my mother, you know your uncles. Like I didn't have no, oh, I'm gonna go pick up a book. Nah, you gonna go back out there and pick up that ass whipping and get back to it. So like now, and even in hindsight, I even tell my wife all the times, like, yo, I have a hunger now to read. Like I want to now. Yeah. Because like, yo, I want to broaden my horizons and learn more, obviously. But the fact that you did it earlier in life and you actually had a hunger to do it earlier, it always fascinates me when I hear somebody say they like the arts, right? Like, because those things to me was boring as shit. It was like, what are you talking about? Like,
yeah, it's crazy because Shakespeare is one of my favorite poets. I didn't always understand it. I had an English teacher in middle school. I remember when I first read Romeo and Juliet, and I struggled to kind of get through it, obviously because it's written differently. But when he started explaining it to me, it was like, man. And I remember when Leonardo DiCaprio when they did Romeo and Juliet with guns.
Yeah, that was
like
that was fresh.
That was probably
a fresh take.
It was a dope ass take on Shakespeare, right? So really, like, what I'm waiting for now is one about.
I was like in 93, 94.
I'm waiting for one about dope ass black producers, black screenwriters, black directors, right, to give us the illy ill on something Shakespeare, and just kind of want them to hood ties it real quick though.
Yo, how you feel about Edgar Allan Poe, man? That was my guy.
Listen, another phenomenal poet.
I mean, Poe was dope. Poe used to hide bodies behind the walls, bro, and then they used to talk to him behind the walls. They used to be talking to him. My man Poe was crazy.
Listen, them dudes was doing a different type of drugs back then, though.
Bro, listen.
They was different types of psychedelics.
Those rusty mushrooms.
That's what caught me 7th grade. Edgar Allan Poe. Those stories
there
was.
So hold on. That name is mad familiar. So give me something he did that I might know.
Oh man, you're gonna make me search, man.
I'm like that name sounds mad familiar.
For some reason, I don't know why in my head I block out all the shit I did learn.
Here we go. Edgar Allan Poe. The Raven, The Murder's Rule, The Black Cat. Nah.
I think probably his most famous is the Telltale Heart. In terms of his books, his poems. I'm not real versed on Edgar Allan Poe's poems. I think I've read maybe 1 or 2 books again, in middle school and in high school. So, again, I'm just going back to Denzel. I'm excited to watch Denzel, play the role of Macbeth. I mean, Othello. Like there's so many great Shakespeare plays that
he really was.
And again, right, Othello in the play he was a Moor. He was black in the play Othello. That character was a Moor, and I feel like maybe Samuel Jackson played Othello.
No, Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne played Othello. That's correct. Lawrence Fishburne played Othello. So I'm looking forward to that. Friday, I'm gonna be locked and loaded on that one, man.
So we know where to find Troy at Friday night. Don't look for him because he's gonna be locked in.
I'm not gonna be at the cigar lounge. I'm gonna be right at the crib, watching Macbeth. So look, yo, there's something I want. I know we got like 15 minutes left, and I think we spent way too much time on fucking Mike Todd. But yo, fair rights, and some people might say convicted felons who have been released don't deserve the same opportunities because of what they did, but voting rights, jobs, affordable housing for felons. Do they deserve the right to vote? Should they continuously be disregarded and disrespected after they've paid their debt to society?
I feel like if you pay your taxes, you should be entitled to vote. If you pay taxes, you should vote.
And then I'm with you with that one too, D. But like you said, Troy, when you've paid, right? This is what we say in our community. When you've paid your debt to society. Now we ain't talking about a financial amount. When you've paid debt in time, the dearest commodity in the world, when you've given that up for whatever you've done, you've paid, and you deserve to be able to come back into society and live your life according to how you want to live going forward. Right. I don't see how, because what's happening is you're setting the people up who comes out of these systems, you're setting them right back up to have to go right back. Now, obviously, we know if you follow the money where this is all a game. But the truth of the matter is, when it comes down to an individual coming out, rehabilitating themselves because the system doesn't do it, when you come out and you want to do better, you want to do right for yourself, your community, and your family, and then when no matter where you turn, you're being discriminated against. You're being.
But see, what happens is that they don't like to clear this shit up when they like explaining it. They like to rowdy everybody up and try to make it seem like, oh, it's just because of the felons that we don't want to pass this through. That shit, that's the light part of it, And the real part of this shit is because they're trying to change the congressional filibuster, which is allowing one party to completely write rules without having the legislative balance that we've always had. So with this bill, they're trying to sneak in this shit where only one party can just write rules. See, they're making everybody think that it's because the felons and it's the Affordable Care Act. And that is the great part of the bill. We all love that part of the bill. But the one part of the bill we don't like is where the fucking Congress gets to decide on one side. Only one side needs to be the there is no tiebreaker. There is none of that shit. It's just going to be majority wins.
Yeah.
And there's going to be and that is an unbalanced figure. So it's that's the part that's going to stick this bill. And they did that on purpose. So this is where you guys got to look in to see who the fuck wrote this shit. And we're going to hold them accountable for fucking mixing all this shit together. Because that's the fucking problem right there.
Listen, bro, they taking this shit back pre-Jim Crow. We looking at Jim Crow too. When it comes to shit like this. But it's just crazy the shit that
I don't get that. I don't get that. What you mean by it's pre-Jim Crow? Because what they're trying to do with the bill
in terms of voting law.
Yeah, but you got to remember that bill comes with fucking 80,000 parts, and one of those parts is to kill the filibuster, and that's the real problem here. And see, everybody keeps getting misconstrued, and they keep fucking throwing in this whole felon shit and this whole thing. That's not a problem. Everybody will vote that through because everybody wants the fucking felons to fucking get back in society and start working. And once the felon starts working, he's gonna pay taxes. He's gonna end up fucking voting. So that's just part of the fucking rehabilitation process. Now the problem that everybody keeps not fucking paying attention is what the fuck the Congress is gonna get out of this shit in the fucking bill. And that's what nobody's paying attention to. So all you guys keep looking at is the felons, the affordable care. Like, yo, all that shit is good. But
So
the
we're
reason it's
talking
not
about two
going
different things.
no,
Dave,
it's not. It's all tied into the bill. It's all one bill tied in with all these different things. And that's one of them. One of them is that congressional thing, because they're saying that in order to get the voting rights, we have to change.
All right. So I hear exactly what you're saying, right? But that's different direction, right? So listen, what you're making is a very valid point. I was in a different direction on
Right,
it.
because that's why I had to kind of just jolt you like that, because I realized, and it's the way they present it to everybody. It's the way they present it to everybody. They present it to you like, oh yeah, because that's why I stopped you, because I was like, hold on, pre-Jim Crow era. No way. That's not what we're doing here. And that's the way they're presenting it to people. And it's fucking terrible that they do that shit.
Yes, but initially what I was talking about though was saying, look, is what a man who has, or a man or a woman who has been released from prison, are they entitled, and should they be, and they should be entitled to the same things that you and I are entitled to, right? So, like, listen, in certain states, felons can't vote, right? Felons can't get passports, right? So, felons can't serve on a jury. Certain employment fields, nobody wants a convicted felon. They can't get social benefits in public housing if you're a felon, right? So that's what I'm saying. They should be entitled. You've paid your debt to society. Why am I now, as a felon, why is that person being cut off from certain aspects of life? Because to me, what it does is we're saying, listen, we're dehumanizing them because they committed a crime. Hopefully they've been rehabilitated, but we're looking and saying, listen, if we don't allow this person to live as a normal human being, the recidivism rate for that person is going back up.
Right.
They can't get fair and equitable work. I've paid my debt to society. How can I take care of my family? So I can't get a job. I may have gone to prison and learned a skill or a trade in prison. I may have gotten out of prison and I went back to college, but I can't go work in corporate America, so I can't fucking make enough money to live in a decent neighborhood and take care of my family. And I can't get a passport to travel abroad. What does me getting a passport have to do because I sold weed? I got convicted for selling weed. I got a felony charge, which we all know was bullshit. Clinton's.
Well, that's they saw you spitting on your hand and slapping booty. They might have gave you an F for that, bro.
But meanwhile,
you added the little. You know the Clintons. You know Clintons ain't with that.
Clinton's a nasty dude.
Clinton was a wild boy.
Yeah, he's a wild boy, and people said he was our first black president because he did some wild shit while he was in office. But they forget what the motherfucking Clintons did.
Right.
They forget the fucking laws that the Clintons passed, the fucking 3 strike laws. They forget how many black people the fucking Clintons put in prison for fucking bullshit, for non-violent crimes.
Yep. Yo, listen, man. We're quick to forget. And this is the good and the bad, right? The good part about this is that pain don't last always. That's a good thing, right? But the bad thing is that the memories slip away as well. Like over time, when you allow things to just go on and that memory to die out, you forget the feelings, the emotions. You forget all these things. And what happens? Then you go on, you end up facing another situation or something worse. And then you find yourself in a bad situation and you really feel overwhelmed. But the truth of the matter is, you've been through worse before. You've been through something just like it. You just forgot. And one thing I've learned is that the more I remember the things that I've been through, right? The more I remember the people who've hurt me, the more I remember those things that actually projected me to where I am right now, I'm stronger because of it. And I know that just sounds like where that come from, but the whole thing, Troy, when you said about we're so quick to forget, like, yo, we can't just be like, oh, let them off the hook. Like this whole pastor thing. This can't be like any pastor that's pastoring the people. You can't just be like, oh, I made a mistake, slap on the wrist, and everything is over with. You have to be held accountable. Like I'm not sitting here telling you I'm perfect, because my name is the Imperfect Gentleman on purpose. But what I'm saying to you is that we all have to be held accountable, and we have to hold the standard up. So even from the church house to politics, everywhere, there has to be some kind of standard upheld by who? Us, because if not, who's going to do it? Who's going to do it?
Nah, listen, you're right. And Dave, I definitely want to come back. Listen, let's come back next week and talk about that subject. Because what you were getting on is something. Listen, that's also something near and dear to me. When it comes to this filibuster, I mean, we got to pay close attention to. We got to pay close attention to our laws. We got to stop letting media lead us. Yeah, because media will lead us down the wrong path every single time if we don't do the research. And that's how we got fucking Sleepy Joe in office right now. That is why we're stuck.
It's like you know what happens. It's like if I propose a business. It's like if I propose a business deal to y'all and I never tell y'all about the downside of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I say, like, oh, guys, we about to go open up a restaurant and we gonna be balling. And I don't tell y'all, the first year we not gonna make no money. Y'all niggas like that, and that's how they write these bills. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly how they write these bills.
Spit on my face before you give me my paycheck.
You know what I'm saying? Not once, twice.
And then he had the audacity to rub it like it was. He had to mix it.
He brushing it on his face with his hand.
And then like he brushed it on, and then after that he realized he had still leftover resin. He just put the rest of it on.
But did you see when Buddy realized some of it was in his mouth?
On his lip, he had to take it off.
Yo, on some buffoonery shit right now, yo. Like, yo, son, what is Buddy thinking right now, yo? Like, what is Buddy thinking, son?
Yo,
because they made him go up there look like a goon. He's wearing all black, a hoodie, and some J's.
Yo, listen,
he's wearing the fours. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you. Like, he has something on him, D.
I mean, he has. Troy, you got it, dog.
No, I don't because even because I think that, like, I'm thinking about if a man does your woman is aggressive, like you don't want to humiliate that.
Yeah,
you want to aggressively do something.
Nah, you the pastor. You not.
No, there's something he has. There's something he has over that dude. I'm telling you, whether it's him being in his booty.
I don't know, but Mike Todd need to get his hands somebody need to put their hands all over that guy for that shit. Because that shit was fire.
Listen. That was that look, and that shit looked like that truffle butter spit too. Like he just
I'm out of here. Like, yo, listen. To the world. I'm not even going around and getting the last words. Yo, listen, to the world. You are just a dad, okay? But to your family, you are the world. And until the next time we see y'all, be good to yourself and the ones around you. And don't let nobody spit in their hands and put it in your face. But if they do,
they do. Fuck around you, bro.
What?
Yo, listen. Be good to the people around you, man. For real. Be good to yourself and the ones around you. But if you can't be good to the ones around you, don't make yourself out to be the worst or the bad guy. Just get those people from around you. Listen, man, this has been RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, and this has been another dope, wild, crazy, funny, and all kinds of other words for this episode. This has been a dope one, man. And I'm grateful for my man Dave being in the building, and TR, you already know I appreciate you, man. So everybody out there that's vibing with us, continue to share this podcast because we are close to 400 downloads. I want to say that really quick. We are close to 400 downloads right now. So keep sharing this podcast. Keep doing what you're doing for us out there because we appreciate you and we love you all dearly.
And let me just say this before you end.
What's up?
I've been sitting here drinking, but because, I normally sip something on a podcast, but because I'm doing this intermittent fasting, I had to go fill my glass up with just water and ice, and I put a little lemon in it to make me feel like I was really drinking something because I can't have nothing after 6 o'clock. So,
yes.
Cheers to my filtered water. I even had to put my pinky up to make it feel like I was really sipping.
Yo, you and your sedity ass water. Yo, we up out of here, y'all. We love y'all.
That Macbeth pinky. My man got a Macbeth pinky, and he ducked the Harriet Tubman hat this week. But my man got the Tubman hat with the Macbeth pinky, baby. That's how we get down out here.
Yo, listen, Imperfect Fathers, man. We are out of here. Y'all be blessed, man, because we will.
I just ordered one of them with them other joints, the newspaper boy joints. They got a name for them though.
With the button in the front?
With the button on the front. I just ordered one of them joints.
Yo, listen, stay tuned. He got the Koofies coming out the Wahoo, y'all. Hat Central coming for Troy this year. We see y'all in a minute. Peace.